Alright YouTube, what is good? So, I was just watching Shock's base tour video and I thought it was pretty decent, but I think he was overall lacking either on Steam or he just wasn't being quite realistic with aim bots and the cheats that there are today, you know? So, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a real top 10 base tour. Alright, coming in at number 10 is definitely gonna be Red Light. Now, on PS4 or Xbox, it's not going to be as good as it's going to be on Steam. You can't really get meshed here. You know, the only way there's ever really been was like maybe shooting through the mesh off of fucking Dinos or your Griffins or some shit. As you know, the game's progressed, especially on Steam, you'll see people are going to build breeders down here. I'm about to pull base tour up. I'll give you an idea. The reason why it's not going to be as good on like PS4 or Xbox is you don't have the structure cap. On Steam, this shit goes kind of crazy, to be honest. Now, you don't have the most space. It's a decent alley. Now it's not an alpha spot either. You're probably gonna be paying tax to tree unless you know you're allied with them or some shit. But definitely, there's no reason you should ever get online out of a red light, and that's why I think it's number 10. Again, maybe the way Shakis was doing his, he was making it so it was good for all platforms, but like you can have everything snapped in. Some people do it even better. Let's see, I think in this video too, yeah, look, you can get breeders down here. I've even seen where on some people's, right, they're gonna build this whole thing down. Not only breeders there, but I've even seen ones where they start to try to fuck with breeders down here. Now you can't really build down there, but again, with this age of building, like you can do some nutty shit where you snap it down, whatever. I think it's also going to be better than King Ply, just because the only way you're really going to raid this is going to be from throwing shit down above it, which one guy online with half a brain easily is going to stop that all day. And with aimbot, like what's someone going to do? Sit out here with the Fabby and bot you. You know, you can't really get railgun. There's a pretty good mesh border back behind here too, so it's pretty solid overall. And obviously if someone's botting you from out here, like, you know, easy claps with a wyvern or really anything. Alright, at number 9, I put Island Ice. Now, the thing about Island Ice is I don't really think it's the best spot on the island. I would rather have an easy underwater personally, but it's the only spot that you can actually really live on the island and not have like a gotcha tower. You know, building a gotcha tower on island's kind of shitty. I mean, maybe you're going to do it at green or something like that. In the island, you can go run boss fights. It's not the best, but it's doable. The reason why island is now kind of shit, there's tribes that are really good at raiding it, and I mean, used to be why it was so good. People didn't grapple glitch, the lines weren't where they're at. I mean, offline, you're definitely fucked here. 30 minutes to an hour tops is how long this is gonna last. You know, I throw a base tour up in this, but I mean, everyone knows how it looks. Yeah, I mean, there's nice space. Railgun bots, I don't know, it's kind of hit or miss here. Definitely you can get botted up in the front, but like if you play your turret settings right out of an XMech, it's not really too bad. You know, getting meshed here isn't going to happen, so it's not like you're going to have fucking dudes on canoes railgun bonding you, so you might be able to stop it from the outside. Overall, it's aight. But again, like there's definitely, for the average guy, it's not a base spot that you can really fuck around with, because there's tribes and teams that are really fucking good at being here. And it's an all defense spot, which is shit, you know? It's like you can push out and push their fob is easy. I mean, maybe you can go from the outside, but realistically, you're just going to have to sit here and take it and defend until they decide they want to leave. Alright, at number 8, I got Center Pearl. Now, some people might be like, bro, what the fuck? This is way too deep for Center Pearl. I mean, maybe if you're on a platform like PS4 or some shit. Crouch is obviously OP. I'm not even gonna throw base tour in it. You know, we all know what fuck Center Pearl looks like. It's gonna be way better on Steam than it is anywhere else. Double doors and shit. But the only way that these get rated is you're gonna get probably railgun botted out of here realistically. Not only do you gotta worry about it from up above, but boys can get in canoes from the other side and literally make it so you can't spawn in your war room. I mean, again, on Steam, turrets don't really shoot like they do anywhere else, you know? So if the server gets fucking laggy, I don't know if anyone's watching Shock's stream or, you know, when they just raided one out of here, or if you've ever raided one before. I mean, it doesn't take too long. You get a little bit of dead body LOS, you get some shit up in here when the boys can't spawn in their war room. I mean, it's fucking rinsed right up, and you don't even have a secondary. Another reason why I made it 8 is because you're gonna have a second place on the map. So either you're going to take Spider Cave on here for a spot for a gotcha tower, or you're going to go around and you're going to build a gotcha tower back here in the lava cave, which again is fine. I mean, they're pretty good spots, but again, right now duping's pretty bad, so you're talking mech rushing here. I mean, we've all seen like the 19 videos that were made of people mech rushing this spot. It's alright, it's decent, but Center Pearl, you kind of almost got to live in it and have cheats, or I mean, that's really what you're gonna be afraid of. So that's why I'm gonna throw it to 8. Alright, coming in at 7, I got Shadow Cave. Now, the reason I'm going to throw Shadow Cave above like Pearl is obviously it's a good spot. You got this water crouch here. Now, vacuums in this bitch is going to be pretty OP, because not only obviously are, you know, water defenses kind of OP in general, but you don't got Rexes, you don't got most of the shit. You're going to want to push it here. So it's cancer to push down in there. You can have spam for days. Obviously not expensive. I mean, you live on fucking app. Not like really anything's too expensive anymore in the game. Mesh and Railgun bot here. If you're fighting in the water, my understanding at least, you know, if you're going to be fighting pre-crouch, Railgun's not going to be as big of a problem for you here as it's going to be some of the other base spots. I'm lagging out a little bit, entering that cave lag. You know, obviously this is OP as it is here, but I don't know, there's gonna be a little bit of mesh problem. The good thing is you are alpha, you know, of a map. I mean, maybe you're gonna get taxpayers in like Rad, probably not Glow anymore. There's kind of open glows, but at least you're gonna have a limited amount of people that are gonna want to come fob this. You know, it's not gonna be like a Pearl or an Island Ice where anyone in the whole game is gonna come and fuck with your base and fob it. You gotta have someone who not only wants to wipe an ab and take it, but you know, that want to spend a few days on an ab fob. You know, for bigger allies and shit, it's gonna be harder to get people to want to account share, because the spot motivation isn't there for as many people, even though the base location itself is still really OP. So yeah, again, I'm not gonna throw a base tour up for this one. We all know what a Shadow Cave looks like, and yeah, on to the next spot. Alright, next spot we got coming in at 6, North Snow. Now, North Snow, obviously super good beta spot. It used to be like the best spot forever. You got some decent defenses here around the corner, but why I like North Snow better than like Pearl or some of the other spots is you can put a gotcha tower in here, so you don't have to take necessarily 2 spots on the map. Now, you might not see it. I tried to find a base tour with it. The old one that we used to have, we had a gotcha tower in here, and you know, if you're running that gotcha script, you're easy passive farm. And this spot's gonna be better too on PC than it's gonna be probably on like Win 10 and PS4, because I'll show you right now, like in a base tour. Let's find one right here. Again. Alright, so I'm back here right now with the video of, you know, obviously how people build it. So you're not gonna have to worry about as much bot here, but what makes this spot so good, but also as a downside, is once people, you know, they're probably gonna get to your moon pool, you know, an average fob, if guys are really coming and looking to fob it to wipe, they're gonna get to your moon pool, and then this whole fob is gonna be all about just defending here. If you have the shit, the double doors and the hatch frames, you know, you're gonna be able to defend it, and it's just a long, boring fob, or fob defense. But you'll probably be chilling. I mean, look, those guys even got gotcha bot running up there, like I was talking about on the outside. This is gonna be even better on Steam, because I mean, look at this, all the double doors with the fence supports and everything you can have all snapped in together, but you're not gonna be able to do that on consoles. So yeah, that's why it's spot number 6. Great spot, obviously shitload of room, and the average guy who's got railgun, you know, he's gonna have to be better. You know, they're not gonna be able to just come like, say, they would be able to right outside your Lost Island crouch and start botting you. And they're gonna have to have a little bit of skill, maybe jump in the mesh too. So, on to the next one. Alright, well, coming in at 5, we got Corner Pittler. The spot overall is pretty cracked. The best thing that Corner's got going for it is you can't really fob it, right? So again, you can be a tribe that's not a part of a massive ally. You know, if you got 1 or 2 lads on, you're not really gonna get wiped. You know, you don't have to fear, you know, big allies you could throw a 3, 4, 5, 6 day fob on your base. It's not really going to happen here. Now you can get meshed. People go through there, and at least the good thing is you can shoot through the border, you know, which I don't know any other spots like that, so that's kind of cool. And you know, especially on Steam, this spot goes fucking crazy. There was one I was just scouting the other day, right? So not only do you get wicked builds up here and down there, which I'll show in a video, I saw boys who, they literally have a gotcha tower in the water out here. I don't know what server that is, but you know, you get breeders right here in a gotcha tower that is all hatch framed out in the water. So again, the only thing that's kind of shitty about this is you're technically right. I mean, you're not the alpha. Big Lunar is, but you could definitely get away with saying fuck you, I'm not paying tax here. Which, you know, I don't really know any other beta spot that you could do that. You know, like, you're not gonna pay tax if you're in Snow North and Pearl, but at the same time, you know, those are still two pretty even spots overall. You know, if you were gonna go Server War, you know. But here, let's pick a video of this. So here we have this right here. So just to get an idea of how this whole thing's all snapped in. Now, you know, people, there's obviously bigger builds, people build different, but you know, not only are these towers already crazy to push, like it's low-key impossible. You're gonna have to raid this from top down, and you know, especially the top here, you can't even raid top down because of elevator tracks. You know, you get the shit going up here to border. It's like, now what do? Your only options are maybe to cannon raid or start throwing shit at it, which again, that is the easiest defense. There's no chest on here, so you know, how are you really gonna get botted? You know, it's a lot harder. They do come on skiff or whatever, shoot it down. That's why the spot's cracked. Breeding isn't the best, but you know, again, some of the way people build it, you know, they kind of make up for that with breeders here and shit. So yeah, that's why I threw it in at 5. Coming in at 4 is Tree. Shotkus threw this shit way down his list. I don't remember where it was at. I think that was the biggest flaw of his overall list. This base spot's cracked. I'm about to pop a base tour. You know, he was talking about people building it at the top. I mean, maybe if you're console, you know, I mean, base spot's not as good. I don't know. But if you're building this shit on Steam, which everyone does, bro, it goes crazy. You know, you got to look at this as overall, you're going to have this whole area in here. You're going to have towers going down the whole way. I'm about to show it in the base tour I'm talking about. Spot's overall cracked. The only thing I really don't like is that you can get double fobbed, right? Tribe fobs from here, tribe fobs from down the ramp, and I don't know, I can't really think of another base spot that can really happen to you from, but still, you got so many towers, and I can't think of another map besides maybe Gen 2, you know, vent-wise, that you can get 4 taxpayers, right? You got Skylight, Red Light, and King, and those are all spots that I guarantee you can get people to build on if you'd like. And so you can basically, you know, you got free Ellie, even though it's already easy, you know, and you can make it dummy thick. Here, I'm gonna pull up a video of Juan's Server 72. This, I mean, look at that. This whole thing snapped again. People snap it from all the way up here. You know, you go down the whole way. This whole thing's on the same snap. Oops. This whole thing's on the same snap, going all the way down. Like, the spot is truly cracked. This, so you can't get in there. You know, on back when we used to play console, the biggest problem, you get people out diving. I mean, shit, you have so much structure cap on here. There's no reason you should ever get Aldove. Again, I mean, like, when's even the last time you saw, once people figure out how to build this spot, no one gets Aldove anymore. You know, at least have to pop something of yours. Bunch of breeders, like, I mean, the spot's insane. It's almost like just a massive cave you have to yourself. And anyone who's coming to wipe this, like, they have to be super rich, and they gotta have the boys ready to go for a multiple day fob, if not like ready to go for a full week. Now with that can be kind of cancer for the guys defending it, but I mean, the spot's insane overall. If you could only get 1 fobbed, I would probably throw this spot even higher on the list. I'm not sure where, but yeah, higher. But okay, on to the next one. Alright, coming in at number 3 is the Bjordur Labyrinth Cave. Now, this spot is cracked. Now, something that I think is super slept on, right? Everyone talks about, obviously, when you get in here, The cave's OP as is, right? You got the water hole, you got all the ledges when you're going up through, but this is now the second map that there's an actual good water base spot where Ellie is farmable. That changes the game. Like the mountain tribes in general that even go in fob water is tiny, bro. Especially you start talking like these big mega alliances, right? How many guys do they have in there that have water tames and are down to go and merge or account share on a water fob? A lot lower. All of this, when you start seeing these base tours come out here in a few months and people main lines come over, whatever, this thing's gonna be fucking water towers. You know, it's gonna go for days. Who knows? I mean, shit. On hard underwaters, bro, there's towers that go on land. This whole thing's gonna be filled before you even get to the cave, right? The only other spot like that is Cube. That is the only other map where there's a good base spot, right? The Ellie's farmable. Not only you have these, if someone gets in here. Now, the only reason right now I have this spot at number 3 is that the mesh is really bad on Bjordur. I mean, obviously, this is cracked as is. Good tribes, though, you're not even going to get into the cave. Like, it is so hard to push water in general, especially with how they have it out there, right? With the amount of space, like, it's going to be super hard to fob this. There's no great spot. In here, this is wicked big, but they're getting meshed right now. You know, they come out, they do some patches, they fix the mesh on here. I say this spot honestly probably goes number 1. I mean, Big Lunar's good, but water is what's really cracked in the game. Like, most tribes do not fob water strictly, besides throw a weak fob on this like you would need to probably wipe it, you know, if there's a good tribe in here. So it's 3 for now. If mesh gets fixed, I throw this shit number 1. It's insane. Alright, and number 2, I got Water Cube. Water Cube, as you might have seen, if not, I lived here forever. Never got wiped out. We took ours pre-transfer. The spot is actually just insane. So not only do you have farmable Ellie, but, like, I mean, it's the best Ellie, you know, in the game, Gen 2. You can put endless towers. There's so much room here. It's actually ridiculous. I mean, not to just play my own video, but as you see here, I mean, we had towers everywhere. Now, something we didn't do that most tribes do, and here's nice, it's pretty much just a war room. We didn't block our entrances. We did once, it never got wiped, but we ended up taking it down like way last year because of Dota Rex. We figured it would have got ran. You know, our entrances weren't big enough at the time. But yeah, people are like, oh, you block all 6 entrances, and it makes it insane. It does until someone decides they want to get in. Like, any big ally has 6 tribes ready to go. You know, you can get 6 different tribes ready to go for a weekend fob. Boom, every entrance gets fobbed, you're getting fucking rolled. And then in here, you lose all your breeders, all your cloners, everything you have out, and you take a massive L. Or what we did was we went and we only built, you know, the main part of Cube, made it super fat, and then we went and took vents. I mean, it's kind of annoying to have vents, but we had 1 raising vent and 1 breeding vent. You can defend a vent really easy. Even 1 or 2 guys can defend a vent. You know, I had a video on, maybe a few videos on that, and it's just insane. In here, you have a super nice war room. You know, there hasn't been a Gen 2 God mode out in a while. Even when there was, you know, we lived through, and yeah, dude, the spot's just absolutely ridiculous. And again, it comes down to, you know, when you're talking about people fobbing this, not only do you have infinite Ellie, so the only thing that makes like easy underwater kind of shitty, right, is they have to, in a sense, they can soak your base, you know, right? They'll go sit on the base low, sit and spin on your towers, and that's whatever. On Cube, like, you can sit and soak our shards all day. All we're gonna do is we're gonna throw our heavies to wilds, so now you can't rocket it. So if you're sitting there soaking shards, like, you're just getting shit on for no reason. So that means you have to Rex, and anytime you come up with a Rex, a Megalodon, it can get picked and killed. Now, a Megalodon you can make overweight, so it can't be picked, but like, the amount of grind that is and the amount of turrets you can have texture free, you have to like over cap in the water off of vacuums, which is super hard to do, you know, in our turret range. Again, tech turrets are infinite, everything's infinite. You're basically just losing a retarded amount of shit and tech bow fighting. And again, people don't want to come to those fobs. People don't have the water tames for those fobs. You know, any good tribe in Cube, back when I was in Cube, I had 8 fridges that imprinted 2 so's. You know, it's just, it's free. So, again, Cube's, that's why I put Cube at 2. And now we're going to go to base spot number 1. Alright, coming in at number 1, you're like, what, bro? No fucking way. Yup, big Lunar. We all know it's cracked. I mean, just look at how big this is. You have towers on the whole thing. I mean, you gotta be big, obviously, to fucking take this spot, but, I mean, the game's easy. Most tribes are rich. You know, if you can get a big Lunar, you can build the big Lunar. The only annoying thing is you gotta defend against mesh. You gotta have cliffies and everything going down here. Have a decent timer, again, because of mesh, but the only people we gotta worry about here are other big allies who are looking to come fob it for like a week. But I mean, again, I don't know, if you got the tribe to defend it, you're never gonna get wiped off it here. You gotta be honestly shitters. And you know, people were good. You take corner pillar that I put as the number 5 base spot on the list, right? I mean, big tribes have this, and then they just throw towers on corners, so you have no competition on server. You know, you can go farm Ellie easy, and once this base spot gets built, you're just done. You know, there's really nothing to worry about, and it's just an overall baller spot. You know, maybe you go and you take another spot over in the ocean biome for water breeders, but that'd be the only thing you could be missing here. Great base spot, and yeah. Well, thank you for watching this video. I threw it out there. I thought maybe Shockus lacked on maybe talking about some of these spots more, you know, and how people defend them, and with, you know, aimbot in the state of the game. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a video. And yeah, also my small tribe series is about to start this week again, so I'm gonna start posting videos. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching.